Welcome to the IXACT Contact tutorial series. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to set up the direct mail newsletter settings for your contacts. We will start by showing you how to set up the direct mail newsletter settings when entering a new contact. To start entering a new contact, click the Add button above the contact list to the right of the page. Start by entering the name of the contact. And then, using the toggle below, indicate whether the contact is to receive the direct mail newsletter or not. If you select No, you can simply complete filling out the rest of the contact profile and click Save at the top of the page. However, if you click Yes, there are a number of other contact fields that you will need to fill out in order to complete the setup of the contact for direct mail. The personal email letter setup section of the page is where you select the contact's mail to address and where you can customize the contact's letter salutation. The mail to defaults to the contact's home address, but you can set it to the contact's work address if you wish. Depending on the mail to option you select, the address fields in either the home address or work details section of the page are required in order to save the contact. If a section is not expanded, click the plus sign next to the section header in order to open it up. The required fields include the street address, the city, state, province, which you select from a list, and the zip or postal code. If you do not know the zip or postal code for the contact, there are handy links for looking up either the US zip code or the Canadian postal code. Going back to the personal email letter setup section of the page, the letter salutation fields are what will print above the personal message on the front of your newsletter if you select the one-to-one option for the contact. The first part of the salutation defaults to Dear for each new contact, but you can select another option from the list if you wish. If your desired option does not appear in the list, click the Modify List link to add it. Simply type the new entry in the field at the top of the pop-up and click the Add button. Then click Close to close the pop-up, and your new entry can now be selected from the list. The second part of the salutation is automatically filled in with the main contact first name and the spouse partner first name if entered, but you can change this if you wish. The direct mail newsletter setup section of the page is where you select whether you want the one-to-one option for the contact. This is also where you select the appropriate copy version for the contact, which can be set to client house, client condo, prospect house, or prospect condo. Once you have made all of your selections and completed the rest of the profile, go back up to the top of the page and click Save in order to save your new contact. That covers the setup of an individual contact. We will now show you how to efficiently manage the direct mail settings for all or part of your database at one time. Start by clicking the List button above the Contacts panel, and then click the button labeled Direct Mail Newsletter Setup. By default, the system returns a list of all of your contacts. If you want to work with a subset of your database, click the New Search link at the top of the page and use the contact search functions to return the list of the contacts you want to work with. I'm going to continue to work with my whole database. The list provides all the fields you need to set up the direct mail settings for each contact, including the letter salutation, whether the contact is receiving the direct mail newsletter, the one-to-one option, and the copy version. You can either update each contact individually in the list, or you can use the controls at the top of the page to apply updates to multiple contacts at one time. Note that if there are more than 200 contacts in your list, the list displays 200 contacts per page, and you can only make changes to up to 200 contacts at a time. To update a setting to the same option for all contacts on the current page, select the option from the appropriate list at the top of the page and click the Update button to the right. You can still overwrite individual values in the list if you wish. After you have made all your desired changes, click the Save Direct Mail Updates link at the top of the page and click OK to confirm your changes. If you're setting up your direct mail newsletter for the first time, you will notice that the one-to-one setting for all of your contacts is initially turned off. We've done this intentionally because we want you to confirm that your letter salutations are correct. You wouldn't want your newsletter getting mailed with an incorrect letter salutation. For example, Dear P instead of Dear Peter printed above the personal message on your newsletter doesn't look good. You can quickly check and update by scrolling through your database to see if a letter salutation needs correcting. And if so, you can do it right in the list. Once you've confirmed that all of your letter salutations are correct, you can then mass update all of your contacts to one-to-one by using the controls at the top of the page as described before. Be sure to click the Save Direct Mail Updates link at the top of the page when done. You now know how to set up the direct mail newsletter settings for a new contact, as well as efficiently manage your settings for your entire database.